So 100K to 1 million subs. That was a crazy ride for 2 years, as I saw. Is there one or a few video that you think helped you pop?
I don't know if it was specifically videos, but more about my approach to the videos.
Okay.
Where I kind of went less personal with my content.
When less
personal.
Okay.
In terms of like, I was still personal in my videos, but you had to click the video to find out who I was as a person. So like the concepts were a lot more broad. So like, I think before I did a mixture of, you know, celebrity routines and all that stuff.
Yes.
But I did do a lot of vlogs, full days of eating, things where you actually had to know who I was as personally to watch the video. And then I started kind of like implementing in more mass appeal concepts where it just like, it's generally interesting. So you click on it and then you kind of learn about who I was as a person, you know, through the content.
Yeah.
So I just noticed like just from having more mass appeal videos, you just get more clicks. And that's kind of how things started to kind of even go faster.
Actually, one that I have in mind is my fat loss tips, right?
Yeah, that was one of my first ever, yeah.
Exactly, and I think that brought one of the most amount of subscribers for you.
Yeah.
How did you think of that video?
That one was funny because I filmed it, I was just on my couch and I was like, it was so simple. There was nothing really to it. I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying in my basement where it was like I was a kid who I've done it all, where I was big and I was skinny.
Yeah.
So I was just giving you like my just like genuine advice from being both of those sides. So I just think there was like a more of a relatability to what I was saying, more of an interest to what I was saying. And it was funny, I was surprised it did so well because I thought that the advice that I gave just seemed so basic. But it seems to like resonate with so many people. So
5 million views.
Yeah, and those are the videos that like make me feel the best. Because like, you know, like the simple videos where it's just me in like the simplest way, I feel very fulfilled by that because I'm like, okay, well, people are watching this because of the value that I'm bringing, watching it for me rather than me having like a massive banger collab or this like crazy video where I'm gonna go see something where it's not really about me that's making the video do well. It's about like what I'm currently doing.
Right.
So it's just nice when the simple ones do well.
Well, actually talking about that, being fulfilled by with that video, what is the actual reason of the whole channel?
The reason of the whole channel was like when I started watching YouTube, I was saying like I didn't have a lot of like friends. I didn't go out that much. I used it kind of like as an outlet for like happiness. I was dealing a lot with body image issues and never really like, I was just always like kind of like trying to beat myself up and never really happy with anything about myself. But when I was watching YouTube, I would laugh.
Right.
You know, I'd forget. And it was just kind of like that, like escape for me.
Yeah.
And I just felt really good. And I kind of want to be that for kids who are in my position. So it's kind of just like trying to be like the Max Tuning and Christian Guzman that they were for me.
There was a few other videos that stand out to my mind. The 100K steps. Can you talk more about that one? Because I think that one blew up for you as well at that time.
Unfortunately, I still deal with the issues today of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I destroyed my knee doing it. Yeah,
what?
So I got a patellar tear doing that video.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started that. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I just walked until literally like 11:59. It was 85 kilometers I walked that day.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
like 2 marathons.
Yeah. I went through a pair of Nikes. I bled through them.
You bled through them?
I bled through those, yeah.
So while you were bleeding, you just went...
I was still walking.
Okay.
Like literally the last hour, my wife was physically carrying me because I couldn't walk. Like, so she's like taking me to the car and I just like, that was probably one of the hardest videos I've ever done.
Do you regret it?
If it's under 5 million views, I heavily regret it. And I think it is under 5 million views, yeah.
1.5 million views.
The answer is yes, I regret it heavily.
Okay, and you're still feeling
I'm still feeling it,
that?
yeah.
Okay, and there's no...
I've tried everything.
Talking about that, is there any other videos where it actually injured you long term?
No, that's it, yeah. I'm lucky. I've almost choked to death on a donut one time. That was behind the scenes, never actually aired.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a low moment, but yeah, in terms of like actual physical pain.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm overall good.
And I'm actually wondering as well, what was your hardest video you've ever filmed?
The hardest video by far was a couple years ago. I went to the US Marine base and I did like the fitness test.
Yeah.
But what no one knows is that I had the worst food poisoning of my entire life for 3 days prior to that. I was like, so we landed in LA.
Oh, okay.
We went for dinner. I was bedridden. I lost 13 pounds in 3 days. Like I was like pale, like I couldn't even move.
Okay.
But I flew down for that video. I got up and I was like, I came all this way to do the video. I'm doing it. So I did that video, like the most sick I've ever been in my life.
Okay.
So I didn't do the best I could have on the fitness test. I was getting roasted in the comments.
Right.
But so I didn't want to be one of those guys being like, oh, I was sick. But that was like the most physically taxing video I've ever done.
But that did well though, in terms of views.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Also at that time, you said you were uploading twice a week, right?
I was still uploading twice a week, yeah. And then I eventually went down to 6. So it'd be like 2 one week, 1 the next week, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it went to 1, 1, 1, and then now it's 1 every 10 days.
Can you tell the viewers why you switched from 2 times a week to less and less to now every 10 days?
I was tired of going to bed crying every night.
Were you actually crying?
I was literally in tears.
Why were you crying?
Because I was so overworked. It was like, I had a videographer at the time.
Right.
So we would shoot all day. He hands me the SD card, he gets to go home and enjoy the night. He gives me the SD card, I have to plug it in and I have to start editing. Because if you're uploading twice a week, it's like you gotta shoot, then you gotta edit, upload, what's the next video, plan it, shoot, upload. So I had like no free time, and like my girlfriend, who's now my wife, was just like, say, can we see each other for a bit? I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. Like, you know, so it was like, I had no time for anything else.
But why though? Why were you so, let's say, obsessed in making it happen?
I think because I was seeing the growth so fast, and like I was getting I got like my first paycheck, which was motivating, and like I was like,
what was the first paycheck? Yeah,
$8,000.
$8,000.
$8,000.
Oh wow.
That was in December, and it was just I was a very money motivated kid.
Yeah.
So like when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, okay. It's like the more I do, the better. That was kind of my philosophy.
True, because you blew up from 10K subs to 100K in just a month.
Yeah, so I was just like a work machine. I was like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to do this, and I don't regret it.
Did you knew at that time you were going all in full time? Did you stop your personal trainer work at that time? Okay.
The second I got that paycheck, I was like, I'm done.
Okay, you went all in.
Yeah.
You were risking it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're now at around 700K subs, right? Yeah. From what I understood, there was a downturn there. What happened?
So COVID happened.
Okay.
So at the beginning of COVID, especially in Canada, we were really like limited to what we could do. So I was shooting a lot more in my house and making it happen. It was like it was fine. It was working, but I was getting kind of bored, and I was also getting kind of like worried because like all my, I don't know if I'd call them competition, but just everyone else in my niche was like in the States, able to actually live their lives. So
right.
I was like, oh, like, you know, if I'm like doing pretty decent in my basement and in my kitchen, like making videos, like if I go away to the States, like it's gonna be like way better, because it's gonna be like people are gonna see a different change of scenery and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I booked like a 3-week trip where I went and I shot like 16 or 17 videos.
16, 17 videos in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What, 2 videos per week? You had 17, so it was good for like 2-3 months?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those videos started coming out and they just started doing so bad.
What was so bad at the time? At 700,000
So I would say like my good videos, I'd be getting like, you know, 600,000 views, 500,000,
okay.
like that. These ones like maybe hitting 150.
Oh wow!
So a huge slash, right? And on top of it, I was in quarantine, right? I was just like in my condo, like literally like so depressed.
And that's when everything was booming. Actually.
That's when everything was booming good. And then I came home and I put these videos out, and then it was going so bad. I couldn't leave my house. Like all these factors, I couldn't go to the gym, and I was just feeling so shit. And I was like talking to some of my guys on YouTube, and I was like, yo guys, like I think this is it for me. I was like, I think I'm gonna quit. Like I think I'm done. Like I was heavily considering just being like, this is it. I'm like done, because it was like so mentally like taxing on me.
So you were actually considering, okay, this is enough for me.
I was like, I actually thought that was it.
Wow.
For sure.
Okay.
And then I don't know.
And then how do you get out of that hole?
Then I kind of went back to like, I was looking at like what I was doing before, and I was like, okay, when I went away, I did way too much vloggy stuff.
Okay.
Again, I was like, I kind of just like, it was like way too personal. And I was like, why am I doing this? I was like, okay, I got to come back with a banger.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to do Michael Phelps's diet and training.
Okay.
Whereas like the 12,000 calorie diet and like all that, like insane, like the insane training routine. I'm like, I'm just going to come back with like a huge hitter and like make sure that.
Why Michael Phelps? Because at the time, was he already retired? Or?
So he, at the time, like his diet was like very like people were speaking about it.
Okay.
Celebrity routines in general were just doing well. And especially for like in the fitness niche, anything with a lot of calories
right.
would usually hit. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
So you continued studying, seeing what worked.
Yeah, exactly. So then I started just being like, becoming a little bit more selective. I dropped down the amount of videos I was doing. So I went from 2 a week down to like 2-1, 2-1, which was actually a lot. You don't think about 2 videos less a month is huge, right? So it gave me more time to actually think about things, ideation.
How do you stay motivated in those times? Like why continue, basically?
Because you come so far, you know, and you see like what you're capable of. And for me, I'm like, if I know I can perform at a certain level, that's like that's my baseline standard, right? So if I see myself going below that, I have to ask myself the question, what's going on? Like why is it this way? If I can do this, why am I here? Like what am I doing differently? And the fact that I know I can do it, it's kind of like that motivating factor to get back to that. And then I also just, I think everyone just wants to get better, right? I think being content with what you have is great. Yeah. We should still strive to, slightly improve. And yeah, so I think once I hit that, like, that 1 million and things were kind of going back to normal, the big pivotal change for me was I had my editor, who I didn't know at the time. He reached out to me and was like, yo, can I edit one of your videos for free?
Oh wow.
And he's like, yeah, like, I'm just like, I love your channel. Like, I just think, just give me one chance.
Yeah.
Right. And I think like when you have a YouTube channel that's like decently large, like giving someone the chance to edit your video is like a huge risk, because I'd miss an upload day and stuff. And he was like so sure. He's like, dude, I'm gonna deliver this video, like, and it's gonna be like amazing. And I'm like, okay. I let him do it. And he gave me the video and he just blew me away.
Because until then you were editing everything?
So I was editing everything that I had another editor who I was working with too. And it was different. It was not like YouTube optimized. He didn't watch YouTube, he didn't consume it. He was more like in like the cinema background. So it was a lot more slow paced, like establishing shots, where this guy was like, I study YouTube, I watch YouTube. I understand some of the algorithm hacks and stuff.
Right.
And then I watched the video, I'm like, holy shit. And then we put that one out and that was like my fastest growing video ever.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then ever since that one video.
What was the title?
It was the best versus worst gym in Miami. And ever since that video, that was like the changing point of my channel to this day. That video, if you look at my channel and you scroll it and you see that video, anything after that, boom.
Ooh, that's super interesting. Yeah. When was that?
That was 2022.
Why do you think it blew up?
Better editing, better retention. I had more confidence. I feel like there's a huge bonus, like working with an editor that you're confident in. Like even if you don't feel necessarily confident in sometimes what you're shooting, you know that they're gonna help like turn it into something great.
Yeah.
And he had the eye for that. And I find he's like a super funny dude. So in moments where there wasn't really anything funny, he made the scene funny by like maybe like a slight cut in, adding some certain animation. And I'm like watching it like, oh my God, this is like, he added so much of a personality to the videos.
Yeah.
And seeing those numbers kind of start to go up, like motivated me to be like, okay, let's try this, let's do this. And like, I kind of was like, okay, this worked really well. So now let's do the best versus worst gyms in New York. So kind of learning the idea of doubling down.
That's what I always say. You're one video away from blowing up, and actually one video away of changing your life, which we can see that here. We always see like a phase for YouTuber to go up, then it goes down, then plateau. But then there will be that one video that goes up, and then if you learn from it, then you can double down and triple down this format.
Yeah, and that's when I learned that like it's so important to have people on your team who know more than you. I used to edit my videos. I used to think I was decent. He can kick my ass. Like he's way better. So it's like I think he's the best like what he does for that. So it's like I learned from him. My videographer guy, he's amazing. Yeah, I could never do what he does. So it's like finding the best people for your team and just like letting them be the.
What is your full team?
Editor, videographer, a guy who does my thumbnails, and then I have a guy who helps me with pre-production. And they're all like super smart, and like if it wasn't for all of them together, it wouldn't be what it is.